This week on The Snack, we're discussing Jimmy Kimmel, the summer I turned pretty, and one influencer's wedding controversy.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Go Birds.
We're under a time crunch today. Is this the first time we've ever walked in this door and started recording 20 minutes later?
Probably. Yeah, we do be talking our shit. We have a lot to catch up on. I had to tell you a crazy thing this morning, like on voice note, because I was like, we're not going to have the time.
Okay.
Someone Raina dated has taken a turn for the worse.
Someone Raina. Oh, I was like, Raina dated. What does that mean?
Sorry, Raina fucked. And there's been some tea, and like I'm getting constant updates around the clock, and I just have to tell you about it. It's crazy.
Are you going to tell me on air?
No.
Oh.
Wait, I already told you.
I know.
Okay, I'm just telling the audience what we've been talking about.
We don't want to gatekeep to you guys. It is pretty crazy, though.
I don't want to say too much.
What if he listens?
Come after you. No, he's locked up. Okay. No.
Listen, I like somebody who looks like a criminal, but you can't be a criminal. Like, that's different.
Okay,
one
Raina.
person, Ashley. Okay, one person.
You can be a hitman.
Oh, you kill bad guys.
You've only dated one hitman.
That's hot to me. He promised me he was only bad guys.
Anyway, yeah. So literally after we record, if we survive, which we'll get to it, but we are heading to the airport. So I'm in Philly this week. Go Birds, Jordan Davis. Coming off a hot win, and I have my shows, and I would have had one last night, and I had one tonight that sold out. So sorry if you didn't get tickets, and you are going to
New York.
Drum roll, please. So there's some rumors swirling that you're dating someone in New York or moving back.
One of those is definitely true.
No, there's nothing planned.
I made a pact with myself to stop talking about moving to New York with everybody that listens, everybody that has ears. Last night I made a decision with myself to stop telling everybody continuously until I have like a real plan. But you and I are like a bonded pair, so like we will decide as a family. There's not like I'm moving to New York and you're not coming with me.
The bonded pair is rescue dogs and cats.
That's us.
That's so funny.
We'll keep you guys abreast when I'm ready to announce dating or moving. Yeah. We'll let you guys know.
Oh, and then we will be at Lady World this weekend, which will be super fun if you guys are coming to see us in Florida for this little spring break in the fall fest with Lady Gang and all the other girlies we love. We'll see you there.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
It's going to be great.
All right. Well, let's thank our partners and then we'll get right into it. Thank you to Quo. Get started for free at plus 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/GGE.
And thank you to Ollie. Get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe at ollie.com/GGE. And Saks Fifth Avenue. Head to Saks Fifth Avenue or Saks.com for inspiring ways to elevate your personal style every day.
We report today.
We have a report every week.
We have like an so it's the Rapture report.
Rapture report, you guys.
And
is it happening?
Well, today is the day that it is going to happen. So as we record on the 23rd, today is the Rapture. And they gave them, we'll explain to you what the Rapture is. And they gave like a little bit of like a buffer. So the Rapture could be on the 24th. But by the time this airs, we will know whether the Rapture happened or not.
So if you're hearing this, it didn't happen. Or maybe it did. Listen, I'm here for the Rapture. Oh, you explain
what it is.
Yeah.
So it's an end times event. So evangelical Christians believe in this. There was a South African pastor. He claimed that he had a vision that the rapture, which again, end times, but it's not the end of the world.
Right.
So like it can still be hell on earth, which it is essentially right now.
Are we in it?
Yeah, we're in it. And basically what will happen during the rapture is all the true believers, the evangelical Christians, will be called up to heaven. And the rest of us are on earth.
Can we get this going? I'm saying, like,
Well, they're saying only good people get to go.
Well, you know what? I think a lot of them would be real surprised to find out what Jesus thinks of them. I certainly don't mean all Christians, but I think there's some that think they're going and they ain't going.
If you are still on earth on the 25th, you know that Jesus does not think you're a Christian.
But I'm saying, can someone, Jesus or God, Jesus' dad, come down here and grab some of these people
and just get them out of
that
here?
are Christians, but also hold beliefs that are harmful and take them up, and we stay here and restart everything.
He doesn't want them. They have to stay on Earth with us and Donald Trump.
No,
You think they're going to like pick him up and just drop him from the sky? Or you just want to get him out of here?
just get him out of here. Like and wherever they go, it's none of my business.
I don't want to know. Bye. See you later.
Yeah.
Well, basically, there's all this advice about how to go through the rapture.
Okay.
So you're supposed to be in your rapture pod with your family, and they give different advice on which positions to be in for the rapture, because physically you are going to be called up to heaven. So you want to have your legs outstretched so you don't get a leg cramp.
Oh, you don't want to lock your knees?
No.
Like when sometimes bridesmaids like faint at the altar because they've locked their knees.
No, you're supposed to just dangle in the air, so they don't want
Okay.
you to get a leg cramp or a Charlie horse.
Do you need to be standing
You are supposed to be standing with no shoes.
all day? They're standing all day?
They're just standing all day.
They
And they're-
can't sit on like a bar stool.
It is recommended that they sit in their living room. So you can.
Shut up.
I've been deep in TikTok about how to rapture the
What
right
if
way.
you have a studio?
You could be in your studio, because technically your living room is in the middle of your bed, in your bedroom. I had a studio. My
Okay.
couch was next to my
That's
bed.
fair, okay.
Okay, so you have to get your rapture pod. So your whole family. You're not supposed to wear shoes, because if as you're like floating up, one of your shoes can fall off and hit one of the
somebody, and
one of the people. Yes, but
and
you
that
can wear
matters.
other stuff, and you're supposed to keep your hands and feet inside your rapture unit.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yes, because there's different categories of how Christian and like good you are. So they're gonna call it up like boarding zones in an airline. There's category 1.
No, not like Diamond Elite. They get to board first. If
So
you're
like
a diamond,
if you served in the military, you get to go first.
if you have diamond status as a Christian, you get to board first.
If you need extra time boarding, you can go first.
They're pre-boarding.
They're gonna pre-board the rapture.
People are gonna sneak up. I need more time. Can I get on first?
So you could get into a pod if you needed like a little more time too, and like go up with those people if you want to board first. But there's different zones. So there's categories of how like good and Christian you are. So category 1's going to go up first. But in your pod, as you go up, you're supposed to keep your arms and legs inside your pod.
Yeah.
Because there's ideally like a lot of people just floating in space and stuff. You don't want to hit the other people.
Totally. Yes, exactly. This is totally gonna happen.
So if you are listening to this, all the good people are up in heaven and we are down here in hell to just fight it out.
Right. So to your point, it is already hell.
We're there.
And take them, and we'll stay. And we'll fix this shit.
Yeah, I'm here to fix tariffs and
So
all
this
kinds of
is like
other stuff.
extremist Christianity, you know, because I just have been wanting to say, like, we talk about Christians and, you know, hypocritical Christians and versus real Christians. And I don't want to offend Christians who truly love their neighbor and treat people as they'd want to be treated and care for the poor and heal the sick like Jesus would have done. And, you know, I think this always applies to anything we talk about. We talk about men. And it's just like, if you are somebody who is a Christian and you're sick at seeing all the harm that's happening in this world at the hands of other people who call themselves Christians, I feel for you. We're not talking about you. So I just have to slip that in because I really, you know, I do get going on Christianity. And that being said, this is like an extreme view. Like evangelical is even a different level of Christian. But I really find this level of delusion so fascinating. And to really insist that this is happening, like not like, hey, so there's this theory, maybe like,
Yeah, I got all this information, all the how to rapture and the zones and different from people on TikTok.
but they're
making
not
videos.
embarrassed if
No.
it doesn't. They're like, well, they probably just pushed it back a little.
They're like, well, this guy predicted it. It's not my fault. It's this guy's fault.
Like this has happened when Joe Biden was inaugurated in 2021, and the whole QAnon theory was that I think Trump was going to come in and take it back, and all these people were they insisted upon it. And even when they were being interviewed, it was like, well, what if it doesn't happen? And they still would be like, I still believe it's happening. You know, like there is no reasoning with these people. Like it's just so crazy. Like I was reading up on some of these theories that have happened before. And when people are so convinced that this is happening to the point where they're like 100% it's happening,
They sell off all their belongings. They do something to indicate that they are ready for this.
Right. Like I have no doubt in my mind. And then they're asked like, but what if it doesn't? They don't waver. They're like, like they'll be like, well, I think they actually pushed it back a few years. It's still happening, you know?
I feel like they call for end of times quite frequently. I feel like once a year I hear that the world's going to end.
I was seeing that this happened. Okay, it says Church of God pastor Ronald Wineland proclaimed that the end of the world would take place on June 9th, 2019, causing panic in some evangelical circles. He later pushed back the date to 2020. So they'll just keep pushing it back and be like, oh, something must have come up, but like the rapture is still going to happen probably like 2027 now.
Like, how dare you incite this type of like scared, I mean, people like selling off their stuff, their homes, their belongings, and then you're just like, just kidding.
Also, some people use it as an excuse to like not go to work. This one woman, I guess she said she wasn't going to go to work and then she got fired. Did you see that? I think that's like the most popular outcome of someone that's like using it as an excuse to not go to work. I respect that. I can't come in. It's the rapture.
I don't have blind belief in anything.
It reminds me of when people get catfish. And I mean, like the extreme cases where it's so obvious, or someone thinks they're talking to Brad Pitt or whatever it is, like that one woman, like, you know, being catfish, it happens to the best of us. It happened to Raina. But, you know, sometimes you'd be watching that show.
One time for one day.
But you'd watch the show on MTV, or you'd hear a story about someone being taken advantage of, and you're like, how could this happen? All the signs were there. And it's just, you want to believe it so badly. It's like sad. You want to believe something so badly that like you could cause harm to yourself and others.
Yeah. I mean, what I believe, I mean, it might be the end of the world. I don't know. Look what's happening on Earth right now today.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Maybe we should explore that a little bit further instead of predicting that everybody's going to be called up to heaven.
Well, if you're listening, then you know.
Well, I'm glad that you all survived.
Okay. So that's the Rapture report. We're going to talk about some fashion controversy.
So you brought this to my attention.
So this came across my TikTok, and people have a lot of opinions on the way that girls are dressing for homecoming.
What? Hold on. No. I feel like I'm about to say something that's going to piss people off. There's no fucking way that is what girls are wearing to homecoming now.
Hoko. I never heard Hoko until recently.
But it's delightful, isn't it?
So you can look up Hoko on TikTok or wherever. And basically, not everybody, but a lot of teenage girls are wearing these really short, sequiny, Vegas style party dresses. There's the handkerchief dress, which a lot of them are talking about. It's like barely there. You know, we've all worn dresses like this in our past, and there's certainly one side of the coin that's like, let them live, and girls want to dress like this. And then there's just like, these are teenagers, and this is how like women in their 20s should dress.
I don't know. It's hard for me to give. I don't have children, so I don't know how I would feel if this was my teenage daughter. You know, I remember being in high school and feeling like I wanted to dress how I wanted to dress. I wanted to dress how my friends dressed. I wanted to do what was in style. And I had these like huge boobs, and my parents probably wanted me to be a little more conservative because they understood like the dangers of the world. And I wasn't hyper online the way the kids are today. Right. And I am 40 years old. I could very easily have a 16-year-old. You know, it wouldn't be that crazy for me to have a child that age. And I look at these dresses and I think like it's so inappropriate for somebody that age. However, if that's what everybody's doing, I don't know. I don't know about standing in the way of my child, going to a high school dance.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to pass judgment. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with your own kid, I support.
Yeah. I go back and forth because there's this part of me that's like, you're a teenager and this is like really revealing and it's going to be unwanted attention and this is the types of clothes adults should wear. But then I'm like, what's the implication? Because it'll tempt boys, or it'll make people think you're a slut, or other parents will judge you. Like, I don't subscribe to that, like, patriarchal bullshit. So, but, like, where's the line? Because you don't want to see a 10-year-old in a bra top, you know, like, just like you don't want your 10-year-old on Instagram or wearing lipstick or whatever the things are. And again, you're a parent, you make your own rules. But I really go back and forth, and I can understand as a parent just being like, oh, that's not what teenagers are supposed to wear, but why not? You know, like, because that's the whole thing of like the double standards with like dress codes in high school. It's like, what, a girl can't wear like a tank top or a spaghetti strap top in class because the boys can't focus, but they can wear whatever they want. Like this is why men can show their nipples and we can't. I mean, there's so many different double standards. So I go back and forth, and I don't really know where I stand, but I'm with you. Like, I would never be that parent to hold my child back if that's what everybody else is doing. Just if that's the style, like, let them cook.
And to your point, like, does it hypersexualize kids because the dress is shorter than mine was? Mine was long in high school. I promise you, as a 16-year-old, a short versus a long dress wouldn't have stopped me from making all the decisions I made in high school. I was exploring sex, exploring alcohol, exploring drugs. I did all those things, and the length of my dress had nothing to do with me doing those things.
Yeah, I guess to your point, just the sexualizing is kind of what it's about. It's just like tits up, ass hanging out. Like, I don't know, like, kids, they're having sex. Well, at least they were in our day. I think they're waiting longer, but like 16-year-olds were having sex, 15-year-olds, I don't know. It's just like, I guess you have to think about what bothers you about it. And these are 2 generations below us. And we didn't dress like this. I mean, it was a different time. I mean,
I wasn't pretty, so nobody wanted to see me in those kind of outfits.
I mean, but I did wear slutty stuff out, but I guess just if you guys really care, like, our homecoming and our school was taken very seriously, and so I knew other schools did short dresses, and we usually didn't. Like, it was pretty much like on the level of prom, like a little less formal, but it certainly wasn't cocktail. So we would be in floor length Jessica McClintock in the school cafeteria for homecoming.
Yeah.
Like, we took it really seriously,
Yeah.
updos. And I remember seeing other schools that were like more casual, short dresses, not all the fanfare.
I thought most people do like prom dress style to the floor.
I think it's different. It's whatever. Our school just took homecoming really seriously.
But these look like Ice Capades outfits.
They're looking like what you would wear to a live show.
Yeah, me specifically. I guess, your job as a parent is to keep your kids safe, and your job as a teenager is to push boundaries and explore. And I guess at some point you find a balance.
Yeah, like, I think that parents, progressive parents aren't like boys in your grade. It's less about them. It's more about like the dangers of the world. That you're out running around looking older than you are, and that's a shame that's the world we live in, because it shouldn't have to be like that. Women should be able to dress however they want, show as much as their body as they want, and they shouldn't be at risk.
I think homecoming is more of a controlled environment than most other stuff you send kids
That's
out
so
to
true.
do. Like, all the parents come together to take photos of the kids together, and all the kids go together to the school and have a dance. And then I guess we would like throw a party after, but like with other high school kids. But like, it was more of a controlled environment than like me just going out for the night.
I know. Like, we would sneak out. I mean, I was 16 and we would drive up to Philly and get into an 18 and up club in like the sluttiest outfits you ever saw, and just be drinking. Like, it's terrifying.
It is. So, I mean, homecoming, honestly, parents are involved. There's usually designated drivers.
Slut it up.
Yeah.
Girlies.
I would, whatever a parent wants to do. I'm not a parent. So, but they're short. And I honestly wasn't cute like that back then.
If I'm a parent and I am like, this is crazy to me that this is what y'all are wearing, I am doing my research to see if it's normal or if my daughter's just a slut. I'm just kidding. I'm calling other parents and I'm like circling the wagons and being like, is this what we're doing? Like, I'm curious if that's how other parents act. And again, like, I want to try lightly because I'm not a parent, so I can't put myself in that position. But I think I'd be like, are we letting them wear this? Like, and then if we're all like, yeah, that's what they want to do, I'd be like, all right.
That's what the moms are saying. I feel like the dads are the ones having a hard time with this. My dad would have a harder time with this than my mom.
I know. Like, I wouldn't want to come down with my like booty cheeks hanging out and this little handkerchief dress in front of my dad.
My mom never said one word to me my entire life about my clothing, what I wore. My dad was always the one that was like, cover up, put on a burlap sack.
Yeah. Okay. So pivoting to a different type of fashion controversy.
An adult.
Danielle Bernstein, controversial figure.
Yeah, she's gotten some bad press over the years. She was one of the original fashion bloggers. She does We Were What. She has a pretty big fashion brand with the same name, and I do like a lot of the stuff that she makes. She's gotten some bad press throughout the years. I can't speak to whether it's true or not, but for appropriating designs from
like
other
stealing designs from small designers, women of color. I mean, there's a lot of receipts for this. I personally, because of those things, am not a fan for those reasons. And, kind of even knowing personally me some stories of this, but whatever. We can kind of remove our personal opinions about her to talk about this in just like a higher level.
Well, saying that, it lets you guys know that we're being objective when we talk about what the side we're going to take on this one. So she put out her own TikTok. She is engaged to be married. She's been making TikToks about planning the wedding. And so she made this TikTok talking about one of the events for her wedding. Was it the engagement
This is her
party?
engagement party.
Okay.
And there is a theme.
And I will say, anybody who's gone to an event or planned an event, you give people advice on what to wear. So she basically said, I had this idea. I'm going to put together a landing page of all the outfits that I'm going to suggest that my guests shop, and I'm going to send it to everybody. And, I watched it this morning. The implication is she will get a kickback, just like any affiliate link. When you are an influencer using Shop My or Like to Know or Revolve, you can build landing pages and send them to people, and you get a kickback for the sales.
And then another part of it is that when someone buys it, she's going to take it off, like a registry, essentially.
Yeah.
So to avoid anyone wearing the same thing.
And this really, I actually am surprised she did not anticipate the blowback from this.
100%. Like, Danielle, have you been on the internet do you know how people react to you? Because she delivered it as like, I am a genius, and not in like a way that I would deliver it, which we'll get to our thoughts, don't worry, which would have been like, some of y'all might not like this, but here's this idea I had. And I think to the average person who watched this TikTok or heard about this was like, oh my God, like, completely unrelatable, totally out of pocket.
How dare you force people to shop these links, which she's not.
And at first I was like, oh, it's a little cringe. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, I know how much some, if not most of the guests will appreciate this. Like the amount of people that have asked me about stuff to wear to my wedding, and I am having a lot of different outfits and events, like not even just the Indian outfit, like the wedding, like what's the vibe? Is there a color palette? Like people want to dress appropriately. I hate nothing more than wearing something to a wedding and like regretting it or feeling like it wasn't formal enough, or it was too formal. It didn't match the rest of the guests. Like it's happened a couple times, and I still think about it to this day.
I like the idea. And if you have ever planned if you've gone to a wedding, I want to know, okay, for yours specifically, what is the weather like in LA in November? What is formal wear in LA like in November? How fancy is the hotel? What are the people wearing? Like, what is the vibe? Yeah, do you have a color scheme you want people to wear? Like, I have talked to so many people about what I'm wearing to your wedding. And like, that's what everybody wants to know is like, how fancy is too fancy? And like, I threw this birthday party this summer and I said festival wear, and there wasn't one person I invited that didn't side text me and say. And so I made mood boards because like festival wear could be Burning Man, it could be Coachella, it could be Lollapalooza. I mean, it could be a million things. And people really, okay, if I bring my man, what does he wear? So I made these 2 mood boards. But like, you and I are brand ambassadors for Revolve. We have Shop My links and things like that. I can build a landing page in 2 seconds and just shoot it off to people. And people want that. People want to know what to wear. You're not forcing people to do it.
Like I almost think I undercorrect a little. I don't want to be that person that's like, whatever you want to do is fine. But like, I did not ever once think, here's the colors, I just was like, wear what you want. I said, ladies, like probably floor length, like it is like more of a formal event to the wedding, but you could wear cocktail. Like, I don't want to be that person, but people kind of want it. They really want that direction. At least that's what I found. And this is a high profile wedding for a fashion designer and influencer. Like, the people going to that wedding are not your average people.
This is the New York City fashion glitterati.
Yes, exactly. So they want to look a certain way, and they don't want to be twinning with someone else too. So it's like she really did know her audience. And it's just like, I feel like I can speak on this as someone who, I'm not a fashion girly. I'm not a person who has all these visions of the way that I need everybody to look. And people are still asking me a lot of questions.
Of course they are. Every single person that goes to your event is going to ask you a question. And my friends always ask me for my Revolve links. They always ask me for my Amazon links. Like, just if they're going to buy it anyways, why not give the person a kickback? What's the difference? She's paying for the event.
Right. So that's a whole other part of it, is like, people are like, is she making money off this? As someone who knows how much it costs to plan these events, who cares?
No, literally, who cares? You're going to buy it anyways. So the price is not jacked up because you're buying it through her affiliate link.
Yeah. And again, like she didn't say you have to do this. The only thing, and I don't know what she's got planned. I'm assuming everything is going to be big and grand and themed, but it's just for the engagement party, which I think some people were like, this isn't even for the wedding. And as someone who didn't have an engagement party, with the exception of just like the after party of the night I actually got engaged, like it's unrelatable to me. This is even something that I did. So it's like, this is a lot for an engagement party.
So I watched her video about her engagement party. I mean, they are spending a crazy
it's a
amount
huge
of money.
event.
It's a huge event. It is the people that are catering it, that have designed the look of the room.
Yes. It's like a wedding, like more expensive and like more extravagant than most people's weddings.
By far. When I watched her do a tasting, because I was like, I got to get into this.
I haven't even done a tasting for my wedding.
We can't.
We're not doing one. You heard it here first.
Listen,
it'll be fine. Okay.
I really wanted to like deep dive into this for you guys. Like, what is this engagement party? I mean, she's having it. She's having set design for it. I mean, she had a sit down tasting for this event with caviar and lobster and all kinds of like high end wines. And this is a real event. I think people want direction. And like you and I went to this wedding in Florida last year. We went for Andrew Collin and Brenna's wedding, and the rehearsal was at this kind of like I guess you call it like a seafood shack on the water, but like, I wouldn't wear what I would traditionally wear out to dinner at that place. I wanted to know like what to wear. And I sent the bride I sent Brenna my outfits and said like, is this okay? Yeah. I want somebody to just send me links to shop.
I know. Like that's the thing. Like you guys can disagree if you want, but the people I know and the weddings I've gone to and the people that are coming to mine want this information. Like I said, to Alyssa, I sent this thing I had that I haven't worn. I've been dying to wear it. I'm like, is this appropriate for your wedding? And she was like, yes, like literally perfect. I'm like, thank God. It's just people want this. And I didn't go to the page and I didn't know if it was still even around, but I think there were different price points. I don't think it was like, here are all these $500 plus dresses. Like I'm sure there was a range. And again, you don't have to. And a lot of people in the comments were like, I'm going to politely decline, or I'm just wearing something out of my closet. And it's like, that's totally fine. And I've been to weddings where I just pulled something out of my closet, but this is a huge society event. People, that's not what they're doing. They are going to buy a dress for it. And this is appreciated, even though you or I or whoever might find it a little cringe or have that be your immediate reaction to it.
Yeah, I think she didn't say you can't walk in the door unless you provide me evidence that you shopped my links.
Honestly, I would love if she did. That's just so much more fun to discuss. Like a true monster.
When I originally saw all the pushback from this, I thought that she was forcing people to buy We Were What clothing.
Yes, that would be unhinged.
I would walk in there in one of her bikinis, the little like beach pants.
But also like, I don't know, there's like this part of me that wouldn't hate that too. It's like,
I mean, if you're a fashion designer,
like true diva behavior.
But like, if you're a fashion designer, it's not that crazy to be like, you got to wear my fashion line.
Right. Like if you're coming to my wedding and you bring a vibrator that's not vibes only, get out of here. Oh, you brought a cock ring from another brand? You can't come to the wedding anymore.
But I would support that because it's our company.
But I can't be in people's rooms checking. Should I? I'll send you
send
around.
Us a photo.
Buzz. Literally.
I knock on the door.
Just see if there's any sex toys in here. You start uninviting people. I love this. We will put you in a security shirt, a bald cap.
You have to use the boxes as a purse also. You can't bring other purses in. Listen, I could objectively look at this because I think she's got a lot of bad press. And I was so surprised she put this out here and thought this was going to go over well.
I know, like the tone, like again, not a fan, but I've kind of felt for it with the tone because, you know, she was like, I'm about to drop the hottest take of all of like wedding culture. And people were like, sis, no.
I think other people should take a note out of this. Like if you're not an ambassador for Evolve, but you're having an event with 500 people and you're like, I will create a landing page with all of your stuff and I will send it to people to shop it. Like you guys should reach out to Evolve and ask.
And it's so specific. Like Jenny did a mood board. You've done a mood board, like, which are great. Just to be clear, I'm appreciative, but it's, you know, it's like Pinteresty and it's a collage vibe. Like these are the exact dresses to either wear or find one similar. Like people want the specificity.
I know.
So anyway,
We support her on this.
I hate to do it. All right, let's just take a quick break and then we will get back into it. I am telling you guys about Ollie. Okay, so Azul just had his Ollie food this morning. He was so excited to eat it. He loves to eat and he really loves this food. So Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. It is made in U.S. kitchens with the highest quality human-grade ingredients. Their food contains no filler, preservatives, just real food. And of course, when your dog is eating healthier, they're going to have more energy, shinier coats, better poops, better breath maybe, and more excitement at mealtime, of course. So you're going to have flavors like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries. He had the blueberries this morning, and he really, really does love it. So they offer a few different meal plans. So you can choose between the full fresh plan, and again, this is like fresh food. You keep it in the refrigerator, you can freeze it and then defrost it, of course. Fresh topper plan, so you can put that over your kibble, or a mixed plan with their freshly baked recipes for your dog. They also have treats and supplements. We've been doing the treats and supplements as well. And I do feed him full fresh, but sometimes I do mix it with kibble too. I like him to chew. You know, I think it's good for their teeth to chew. That's why you have them chew treats and all that kind of stuff. But you know, whatever you want to do, that's your prerogative with your own dog. There's a welcome kit. They will send your first box with 2 weeks worth of meals, a free storage container, and a guide of how to gradually switch them over to their new diet. So I'm just really a big fan of this. And also Ollie is the only fresh dog food that comes with unlimited routine health screenings. So you can get your pup on track to living their healthiest, happiest life. So you guys can check that out as well. So dogs deserve the best. And that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/GGE. Tell them all about your dog and use code GGE to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's ollie.com/GGE and enter code GGE to get 60% off your first box.
Okay, and a new partner, Quo. So running a business on an old clunky phone system is like competing with one hand tied behind your back. And every time you miss a call, that is money left on the table. Quo, formerly Open Phone, is the modern alternative built to help you work smarter, build stronger relationships, and never miss an opportunity. So I remember like working at Groupon and Amazon, and I had these like clunky desk phones. And I always wondered, like, why isn't this run through my actual cell phone? Like, if I'm not sitting there, like, why is this so cumbersome?
Be like a chain to your desk if you're not going to miss a call.
Do people even go to work anymore?
Right.
Like, what is an office? So Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communication. So there's no more juggling like 2 phones and like being tied to this landline at your desk. And Quo works through an app on your phone, so you run your whole business anywhere, and your team can share one number and collaborate on calls and texts, like a shared inbox. And the user interface is really, really great and easy to use. I suggest you go to the website and check it out. But keeping up with response times will allow you to just do that fast, keep customers happy. And Quo makes your phone system smarter with built-in AI. So it logs calls, it creates summaries, it automates the next steps for you. So you can answer calls easily and generate quality leads and route customers to the right teammate. I mean, they just really make it simple. And whether you're a solo operator or leading a team, Quo helps you connect and helps you deliver standout customer experience. And they have over 90,000 businesses using Quo. So you can get started for free, plus 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/GGE. That's QUO.com/GGE. And if you have an existing number with another service, Quo will port them over for no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Okay, and telling you guys about Saks Fifth Avenue once again. I have curated a landing page of Saks dresses for my wedding. I would. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it would be so easy to literally go to Saks because there are different price points, of course, and be like, here is the range of all the dresses, starting with maybe a brand like Alice and Olivia, all the way up to Gucci or Prada, you know. So we just love Saks so much. You guys, I've been on a journey to find the shoes that I'm going to wear for my wedding, and I think I have found them. So stay tuned. I'll do like a little unboxing. But we just love it. I mean, you can find everything. Again, all different types of brands.
And if you have weddings or events coming up, shoes, purses, obviously one-stop shop for everything. You can get your airport outfit there too. I mean, they have everything.
Yes, they have your athleisure, they have your work clothes. If you guys are going to office or you just want to, show out when you're working at home. I mean, I'm just looking at this like Oscar de la Renta dress. Looks like it's just straight off the runway. And, get your denim and your sneakers and everything. We are just such fans. I mean, this has just been a go-to. I've had to shop for so much lately. So I'm just like loving heading to Saks for everything I need. And we, of course, want you guys to check it out for, again, whatever event or everyday thing you have going on. So if you are like us and you are looking for ways to elevate your wardrobe from what to wear to a wedding to a workout, you can head to Saks Fifth Avenue or Saks.com for inspiring ways to elevate your personal style every day.
Okay. The war on freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So after we recorded last week, the decision came down from ABC to remove Jimmy Kimmel from his show for what they deemed to be insensitive remarks. And as we record now, ABC has sort of made an about face, made a statement after we've spent the last days having thoughtful conversations. And after those conversations, reached a decision to return the show on Tuesday. So
thoughtful conversations, they lost a shit ton of money.
$4.5 billion.
And like overnight. And, I did cancel my Hulu, Disney Plus. They're tied in, I guess. I don't never really understand what's going on, but that's what everybody said to do, so I did it.
That was the parent company.
Yeah, that's the parent company.
So to cancel it.
ABC and all of that. And listen, I couldn't cancel every company that I disagree with what they've done. Like, we would have nothing, unfortunately.
Of course.
That's your iPhone, your Amazon. If you really are like, if every single company that has supported Donald Trump in some way, let's just say, that's your line, it'd be tough. And so I'm not in this like boycott everything way. I try my best. I've cut back a lot. This is day to day. I'm thinking about this. I want to really make a statement with my spending. And this was like, I'm gonna do it. I want to do this. I want to send the message. And I was like busy traveling. It took me a couple of days, and I did it Sunday night. And then this happened Monday. I was like, oh, immediate results.
Yes.
I did it.
I think we thankfully have a capitalist society in this instance where companies have to listen to their consumers. But anybody in media took this really hard, no matter what side of the aisle you were on. I mean, you and I found ourselves agreeing with people that I've never agreed with in my entire life. And this was a real threat to freedom of speech. And, it's hard for me. I can't have these giant spikes in anger and sadness every day. I feel like I don't have time to come up for air before the next thing happens, before we've, taken away the jobs report or the slavery exhibits, the Smithsonian. I mean, every 5 seconds, there's like another thing. And I have to be able to get through the day. I have to be able to get through life. But this was really tough. I mean, you and I have had microphones in our hands for almost a decade, and I feel honored to have that right. And I feel happy to live in a country that has allowed you and I to have opinions that other people don't agree with. And I have to listen to other people with opinions that I also don't agree with. And those people have the right to say those things. And I don't think freedom of speech, by the way, means you can say anything.
Well, it doesn't.
And you can't yell gun on a plane. You can't yell fire in a movie theater. And that is what the Supreme Court decides. I don't think they decide that, but there are checks and balances in laws that have thus governed this. But people that I really don't agree with, like the KKK, are allowed to have peaceful protests and get on a stage and say things. And I think we've lived in a country where we've tolerated that up until now.
Yeah, I think people got a little confused about what freedom of speech is, and this was not just someone getting fired from their job. And this wasn't cancel culture. I'm happy to explain why, but I mean, I've loved this one post from the Space Gal and about what actually happened. And I don't know that I need to bore you guys with the details, but there was a merger with Nexstar. There's an FCC rule that says no single broadcasting company can reach more than 39% of the country. It's illegal. There's reasons for this. So these companies aren't controlling all of our media, which we're getting close to that, but whatever. So they wanted this merger, and Brennan Carr is in charge of the FCC, and Trump is telling him what to do. And the reasons why this were so alarming is because, for one, the president has a hit list of enemies, which he's like, Colbert's first, and then Kimmel, and then Fallon. It's just like, this is so sick. I can't, even when I'm saying it, it's hard to even fathom. But on top of that, so he was basically the one that got Brendan Carr to get Jimmy Kimmel fired. Like, this wasn't ABC being like, oh, we don't like what you said. And I think there's receipts and even more is coming out of like just exactly how this happened. Like, people who were like, well, he said this insensitive thing about Charlie Kirk. It's like, that's not even, that has nothing to do with it. They were trying to find a reason to please Donald Trump and get this merger approved. And I like the distinction in this post where it says free speech is the right to express information, ideas, and opinions without government interference, censorship, or punishment. Read that last part again. Like, that's the issue. Like, I think if ABC just would have outright fired him, we don't like what you said, people would have been up in arms. But this was clearly, again, interference from the government coming down from the president, who is going after his critics.
This wasn't even thinly veiled this time, which was frightening. You know, when Colbert's show was canceled, they at least made this whole show of that his contract was ending and that his numbers were down. They didn't even attempt to make it seem like this was not politically motivated this time, and it's extremely disheartening. And of course, as anybody who has dedicated my life to holding a microphone and I make my living from it, it's frightening because you have to say to yourself, where is the line? And
there shouldn't even be.
When does Donald Trump get to decide? Is he just going to be watching Jeopardy one day and he's like, these questions are too hard, I don't understand them. Jeopardy's gotten too woke, cancel Jeopardy. Like, where is the line going to exist? And it frightens me. It should frighten anybody.
It's just totally, I want to say unbelievable, but like, we can believe it. This man has been in our lives for a decade now in this way. And I just don't understand how, I think this got a ton of pushback. And this is fascism. This is authoritarianism. I was looking at this Blue Sky post from Robert Reich that says punishing college students for protesting him, pressuring TV networks to fire late night talk show hosts for criticizing him, suing newspapers for reporting he doesn't like. If this were happening in another country, what would you call it? Just try to look at it from the outside. Do you see what's happening? Like, the road that we're headed down. And so people went fucking bananas and they actually showed their spending power. And like you said, I mean, it is like, this is capitalism, which is so sad in a way, but it's also encouraging because we really do hold the power.
It's the only shining beacon of hope I've actually had in quite some time, that like, oh, this is what will move the needle. People will start losing money. Like, you won't convince these giant companies to do the right thing and not align with Donald Trump
100%.
Until you pull your funds from them.
Yeah.
And, you know, it goes without saying that I believe that people have the right to express opinions, whether I believe in them or not. And Charlie Kirk is the perfect example of that. Right. I don't agree with anything that man really said for the most part. And I've gone through his website and his reels and all of his content, but I stand by the fact that he deserved to express those opinions. And it's a really dangerous, slippery slope, because once we start this, when could it possibly
100%.
end?
And, you know, I think there was this misguided, like, well, now the cancel culture tables have turned. And it's like, to call this cancel culture, like, you don't get it. And, you know, while we're here, I fucking hate cancel culture. I think there is nothing more pathetic than digging up old tweets, especially from people who call themselves progressives. If you know who someone is now and you know where their values lie and what they speak about, but you try to dig up stuff they said 10 or 15 years ago that doesn't align with them now, shouldn't you celebrate the progress instead of wanting them to lose their livelihood over it? Like, I've gone off on this for so many years, and I understand that we need to hold people in power accountable. Like, if you're Morgan Wallen and you say the N-word, you might get dropped by your label people, you might lose fans, and like, that's the consequence of your actions. And I think people just kind of distorted all of it together, and it was different. It was just different. It was like a government overreach. It's this slippery slope, and that's why it was so alarming.
It is so not cancel culture to me at all. I mean, we are all, as consumers, allowed to say, I learned this thing about somebody that they did currently, and I could no longer support them emotionally or financially. And Zach Bryan is an example. Brianna Chicken Fry came out and said all these things about him, and I have a right to not go to his concerts now and spend money. And that's not cancel culture. That's somebody said something about somebody. That's a current situation.
Right. There's like a real distinction. So anyway, I mean, we're on this roller coaster, and you know, he's back as we record. I mean, he's back tonight. But I guess some stations still aren't airing him. But
so the original station owners, Nexstar and Sinclair, are still refusing to air it. So they are setting up this battle between the network and people who carry the programming in dozens of U.S. markets. And, you know, that is up for judges to decide whether that's legal. Local markets should be able to, I guess, decide what is legal. So viewers in DC, Seattle, Indianapolis, Nashville, and other markets will be unable to watch Kimmel's first show. They may relinquish, but this is not completely over. So these networks still are refusing to air it.
Yeah, and I mean, there was such an intense backlash, and it wasn't just like, I love Jimmy Kimmel and I want his show to be on air. Half these people don't fucking watch the show. It was just like silencing journalists, silencing comedians, artists. Like, this is terrifying stuff, and no one should want this. No one, like, I just could scream it. Like, you shouldn't want, no matter what, you love Donald Trump or whatever the fuck, you still shouldn't want this. Unless you're like, you know what? Fascism. That's what I want. Like, I mean, unless that's for something you want for some reason. You were like, I love Russia and China and like North Korea. Like, if that's what you want, fine. I can't argue with that. But it's just like, how do you not see the path we're headed down?
Nobody on either side of the what if Kamala was the president and she decided that every single thing that the right thought and felt was stupid and no longer able to air? And what if we took all of on? What do you guys have on the air? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
For comedy and late night hosts. I don't know. But what if she decided that, and people would be up in arms on the other side of the fence as well? No one should want this on either side of the fence ever.
Yeah.
Because it sets a terrible precedent for the future.
Yeah. So it's just been like a dark time. I mean, seeing this Charlie Kirk memorial, which was a political rally disguised as a funeral. I mean, so many things about it were disturbing. I mean, Stephen Miller's speech was the closest thing to Hitler I've seen. It was like abhorrent. Mm-hmm. This like, you are nothing. We're going after you. And then to wrap it up, talking about God and Christianity. Again, I can't stress enough. If I was like a real Christian, I would be furious at what is happening to this religion. So I was appalled at a lot of things. And I'm not speaking about celebrating his life if that's what people wanted to do, but just the vibes were scary.
I mean, you're the president of the United States saying, I hate my opponents and I don't want the best for them.
The constituents of the country you're supposed to be in charge of.
Yeah. We've never seen this, and I've never seen a president say stuff like this. I mean, this is who y'all are following.
Did you see there was like merch? And have you seen videos of the trash that got left behind? Yeah. It looks like a war zone, the amount of trash that people left behind at this thing where they were supposed to honor this person they looked up to and respected. I mean, it was real exploitation of someone's death. Truly, I like, no matter what side you're on, like, you have to admit that was like a real exploitation of death for political gain.
I agree. Well, in better news, we solved autism.
So Trump teased the autism cure at the funeral. He was like, hot. He was like, coming in hot tomorrow. Wait for it. We're launching that autism cure.
And he was so excited to drop this that he couldn't even find the time to figure out how to pronounce acetaminophen. Y'all are taking advice from a person who can't even pronounce the ingredient.
Yes, like, I can't believe, like, acetaminophen is a little bit of a tricky word, but no one wanted to practice with him.
If I was going to give a speech, though, I would nail it.
He would never.
Talking about it, he was like,
Wait, what recently that he didn't pronounce?
It was like coffee, but
no,
it was
no. Recently.
No, but it was like his like current kafifi.
Yosemite. Yosemite.
He was talking about Yosemite National Park and he said Yosemite. Like, it was 2 words. Like, anti-Semite. Yosemite.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just have to laugh that, like, this is who people voted for. Like, all the terrible, horrible things that I think are happening that really deserve a lot of attention and seriousness, of course, like, it's so that's the most ridiculous person on earth. This is who everyone's afraid of.
I know.
This person who can't pronounce words. He teases like the hottest medical drop of the year. And he's like, we solved autism and can't pronounce it.
We're like making jokes. This is just disgusting. I mean, this on so many different levels. I mean, I think the anti-science movement and people who are completely unqualified, being in charge of our health agencies and thinking they know more than doctors is one of the worst things to happen since Donald Trump took office. One of the most dangerous. But this is just another level. I mean, there is no actual data or proof that taking Tylenol during pregnancy causes autism. There are a few studies have suggested a possible link. Well, there's other factors, of course. I mean, this goes without saying. Like, the evidence is not there. I mean, I asked a friend this morning, she has a son that's autistic, and I just was like, I'm so enraged about this. Like, I'm so mad. And she was like, yes, it's in, like, the lack of science is deeply disturbing. But her son, who's autistic, she just was like, for the record, I never took Tylenol once. And I did take Tylenol with my other son, who was not autistic. I mean, again, she's one person, but that just, not that goes to show, but it's just so upsetting.
I mean, there's hundreds of, the entire medical community obviously came out against this, that you can't easily attribute a single cause to autism. There is hundreds of other factors that it could be attributed to, whether they're environmental or hereditary, drinking during pregnancy. I mean, there's tons of other things. And besides the active ingredient in Tylenol.
And the hottest take I've seen today is that autism was around way before Tylenol. Like, I think a decade between. Mm-hmm. Which, duh. And it's just another example of the attack on women. Like, the abortion, birth control is next. We've been saying it, and it is on the chopping block as we speak. And now pain relief during pregnancy.
Also, where is Tylenol in all of this? Okay, Donald Trump thinks Tylenol is not going to come after them. You can't just, first of all, acetaminophen. Listen, I can say it. Acetaminophen is the active ingredient in Tylenol. Advil is having a field day. Advil's like, but you think that, so
ibuprofen, yeah. Ibuprofen's having a field day.
They're killing it. Advil, Aleve. Johnson & Johnson previously owned Tylenol, and it spun off into another company. But you think Big Pharma isn't going to come after you?
It's crazy.
This is one of the biggest industries in the United States.
I can't believe that this administration has made me side with Big Pharma. How are we team Tylenol?
Every day I'm like, how am I agreeing with other people today?
The nation is rallying around Jimmy Kimmel and Big Pharma. And that's 2025. I can't imagine what a woman who has a child with autism who took Tylenol during her pregnancy would think about this. It makes me, like, I don't know, I just got like so emotional. Also, I have like a strong tie to it with my friend. Can you imagine? You have
makes me sick.
Fucking president who, with no qualifications, and RFK being like, this is what did it. I am so furious.
I am too.
How dare you?
I am too. This fucking clown who can't even be bothered to know the research, pronounce the words right, is blaming you for what you have supposedly done to your child because you were just trying to get through a day of your life, the 9 months that are so long. And how dare a fucking man tell you to deal with anything? A person who will never have to deal with what it's like to create a life.
Mm-hmm. Go off. Okay. We're gonna lighten it up.
It's been a really tough time in this country for a lot of people on both sides of the fence. I don't want to just say like just for me and just because we're in media. And, you know, I think everyone's like, well, why do you care about this thing and not that thing? I cannot be a subject matter expert on everything, and I cannot dedicate all my time and energy to every single thing. But particularly right now, things feel bad and scary. And I'm struggling. I'm like really struggling with it. Yeah, I know a lot of people are.
Yeah, I think this has been one of the darkest times, like the last few weeks. But we're gonna lighten it up.
We are, and just want you guys to know, like we hear you. We appreciate your messages. And last week's episode talking about what was happening with Charlie Kirk. I mean, I told Ashley I can't even get out of bed. I don't want to look at our comments. And Ashley was like, I really encourage you to look at our comments. And the response from you guys was so wonderful and sweet, and your messages were great. And I think people do want to hear this stuff. And
yeah, they're overwhelmingly positive. A few people came for me, told me I have to issue an apology.
No,
but I don't need to get into it, but yes, we got a lot of positive feedback. So many messages and comments and things like that. So we are talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty, which the finale was a week ago, and we'll chat about it. You know, you've seen all the takes. It's the whole internet. the show has just taken the world by storm. But Raina did watch it.
Well, I don't want to, it's important to me that you and I can have a discussion on this show. And that's why you watch Bravo stuff sometimes, so that you and I can talk about it. It is the most I've ever felt left out of a culture moment in my life. And it is very pick me that I don't watch it. But it's the most I've seen anything talked about on the internet. And honestly, thank God for a break from other stuff.
Yes.
So I watched the finale last night. I asked you, should I watch the first episode? And you were like, just watch the finale.
Yeah, I said if you want to watch, I think it'd be funny if you watched the very first episode and the finale. But instead, I just sent you an 8-minute long synopsis of the show.
And you kept saying, well, I'm sure you already know this. I'm sure you already know this. And I was like, I don't know. I actually didn't even know which one was Conrad. I had to chat GPT like the two brothers and what they're, it's a show I've never seen.
I know, but when you see it in your feed, I mean, it's Bustle and Elite Daily's whole feed, Chicks in the Office. I mean, do you just scroll by it?
I just scroll. It's like
there's
white
no
noise.
point to look. Okay, yeah. So there were some things I was like, I mean, you know that, and you were like, I do not know that. Yeah. So, I mean, I liked the finale. Everybody was so horny for it. I mean, they don't have sex scenes like that historically. So this sex scene was so hot. I just feel like we've been edging for it all season long.
Okay.
And she of course ended up with Conrad, and now there's going to be a movie. So Amazon's going to do a movie. They haven't even started filming it yet. So it's going to be next year, the year after. And, part of me feels like I'm okay. I'm good with how it ended. I don't know that I need more. Of course I'll watch the movie, but I don't know. Even this season, I was like, I think we're done here. I preferred this season the least. I still loved it, of course. I think Belly was the least likable this season, but it's okay. It's just my opinion. And I love the show, but I just am like, I think I'm good.
Okay. You feel like they put the appropriate period at the end of it, and you kind of assume they end up together and you're good.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll watch the movie, of course. And I hope they do a great job with it. And I hope everyone loves it. I just,
do you like who she ended up with? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I guess it's like, I just certainly didn't want her to end up with Jeremiah.
Okay.
So yes.
Because you think that she loves Conrad like way more.
Yeah,
obviously.
they love each other.
Okay.
I hope it works out. He does, he broke up with her once. He broke her heart once. Always.
But Jeremiah cheated on her.
True. Yeah, it's just kind of like there are more men in the world than these two brothers. Like it's crazy to ping pong back and forth with the sex. You know what I mean? Like all she does is fuck these brothers to Taylor Swift songs, which by the way, I didn't know that Taylor Swift song Dress. Mm-hmm. I didn't know she had a song that spicy. Did you?
I had no idea.
I'd never heard it.
I didn't know that she sang about that type of stuff.
I did not know. And I stand corrected. I did not think she had a sexy song in her catalog, and that song is sexy and it was perfectly placed. And just the sheer amount of Taylor Swift songs, like we've both been looking into this. I mean, Jenny Han, the author of the books, loves Taylor Swift. They have that Amazon money. Like every time I hear a Taylor Swift song in full, dozens of Taylor Swift songs throughout the history of this show, I'm like, how much does this fucking cost?
So there's 23 Taylor Swift songs used throughout this show. And
it was like 33, whatever, regardless, it's a ton.
And it's unprecedented. So I did a little bit of like research to see like, are other people at this level lending their songs to shows? And it does not happen. So Beyonce is the only other person who's obviously at this level. And unless she is involved in a project, her songs aren't really used as much. I mean, it does not surprise me that Taylor Swift lent her music to like High School Love show. I mean, it's very Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I mean, like, has she ever addressed it? Not to my knowledge. I mean, the volume, it is one after the other. Well, there was some episodes where they didn't play any, and they said that it was because the symbolism would have been that Belly wasn't in touch with her emotions at the time or whatever. But like, you're like, wait, I just heard a Taylor Swift song. It's crazy.
Well, it's twofold. It's the budget, and also like artists have to agree to lend their catalog to these shows. Like they also have to be like, I do agree that like this show content aligns with my music. So it's like twofold.
Totally.
And this doesn't happen.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts. And just while we're talking about music, Cardi B album dropped, Am I the Drama? I absolutely love it. We're running short on time. I don't want to list out all my favorite tracks, but I'm so into it. This is her sophomore album, and I think this has really cemented her as like a true icon as a rapper. And I mean, her first album I was obsessed with, No Skips. I love this one too. And so anyway, I love her like hustling and to promote this album. It's just been very funny, and I'm just such a fan, and she's just like, she lights up my life. So I really, really love the album. You guys should check it out.
And she just announced her 4th pregnancy.
Yeah, she's having another kid.
She had 2 kids this month.
Imagine that being your mom.
Cardi B, I think about it.
Yeah.
So she's birthing 2 things this year.
Yes.
And next week, Taylor Swift's album, Life of a Showgirl, comes out, and we will, we'll listen. We'll let you know what we think.
Yeah. And we told you guys to watch a Charlie Sheen doc, and we'll talk about it, but I didn't get to it. I didn't do my homework. So push it back 1 week. We'll discuss it eventually. And we're just going to wrap up with a few very quick headlines.
So Bravo announced that Summer House is getting a spinoff that they're filming in New York City. It will have Kyle and Amanda. And is Lindsay Hubbard, she confirmed
Lindsay
for it
too.
as well? And I think people have asked for this for a long time. And I think that it's not unrelatable that these people go to the Hamptons on the weekends in the summertime, because I do. But I think at a certain point, you're like, I'd like to see these people outside of an environment where they're just in this home funneling alcohol, and there is more to their lives. And they are business people and entrepreneurs, and I think people want to see more of their lives. So the Bravo prayers have been answered. I'll watch it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I think we mentioned this, that we wanted to see this. Chicks in the Office mentioned it as well. And so, I mean, we're inside the bell curve with everyone else. If we're talking about it, it seems like what other people wanted too. Like, I found myself when they were in the city wanting more of that than like seeing these people just get drunk and party and have theme parties. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think people are like, well, Paige isn't going to be on it, and she was obviously like a star of the show. And so we'll see how it does. But I think people will tune in for sure. Horse Girl Fall is here.
I'm here for it. So New York Fashion Week this year displayed a lot of horse-themed attire. So Ralph Lauren has obviously never moved away from that. It's riding boots. It is sweaters with horses. It's the riding jackets. I love this style. I mean, I always just think people just be trying to look for something to write about. Every fall is Horse Girl Fall.
Yeah, I mean, we've always seen this equestrian style. Yeah. I mean, dating back to I used to wear like a tall fry boot with a legging. Like this is not anything new, but I just think it is very funny that it's like called Horse Girl Fall. Like there's some things that are very horsey, like a horse on them.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. I like
Catch Raina in those horse
I like a
sweaters.
sweater knit with like a knit horse on it.
Okay, so Horse Girl Fall is here. Tell us what you guys think about it. And then lastly, statue of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein shaking hands mysteriously appears in D.C.
They're not even just shaking hands. They appear to be frolicking.
Yes.
It is insane. So someone, I guess, made these statues, put them on the National Monument, and it's insane looking.
How did they put those up? Like,
I mean, I'm assuming they make them at home and they deliver them in the middle of the night.
They make them at home. No, stop. No, I'm just looking it up for more information. I mean, I think this is breaking news as we speak. But this huge bronze statue of them frolicking, it's titled The Secret Handshake. The statue of Trump and Epstein is designed to look like a monument and features the two men smiling as they hold hands and twirl. The artist who produced the work declined to identify themselves, obviously, asking only to collectively be called The Secret Handshake. We like the idea that September is unofficially called Friendship Month, said a representative for the artists.
They're smiling lovingly at each other. They're holding hands.
Yes.
They have their legs up like they're skipping through a field.
Because we're not forgetting about the Epstein files. Someone said acetaminophen. It's pronounced acetam Epstein files. I saw that in the comments. They're like, it's pronounced.
I mean, you know that I'm all about my conspiracy theories, and a lot of this is happening at the height of let's see the Epstein files.
Wait, did you see this picture?
Yeah, it's
with
insane.
Like the way it's framed, though.
Yes, it's insane.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Girlsgottaeat.com. Get tickets to the holiday shows. They are on sale in New York and LA. So you guys can get those at girlsgottaeat.com, Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. Subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. Drop us a comment on YouTube, and we will see you Monday.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Bye.